Live from a raucous Bishop Gorman High School gym, this is the Game Time Game of the Week on Your View, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way. John Little alongside Scott Garner for this matchup between Bishop Gorman and Faith Lutheran. Two big-time rivals getting together in a non-league game today, but a chance to figure out where they match up this early in the season.
And they know they match up pretty well together. They've been playing each other for the better part of a decade every single season, save for the COVID year. But these are two teams now that are tops in their league. Last year, Gorman ends up beating Faith Lutheran 70-57, close all the way. Faith Lutheran, a team that was down by 6 in that game, and then Gorman pulls away. So Faith Lutheran, they feel like they've got a score to settle tonight.
Bishop Gorman comes in 5-0, including a big league win last time out against Liberty, and that was just last night. Coach Grant Rice not happy his team gave up 10 threes last night. Not happy with the defense. They'll want to get it locked down against a Crusaders team that's very good defensively.
They're really good defensively. They like to play really a pack line style. They want to keep teams out of the paint, whereas Gorman, they want to be careful not to help off too much and overplay in that respect. So two very different styles tonight.
Bishop Gorman and Faith Lutheran, a couple teams with 5 wins on the season. Coming up, we've got the starting lineups and the tip-off next from Las Vegas.
Office Furniture USA, Nevada's largest new and used office furniture showroom filled with quality furnishings for your standard office, lobby, break room, or conference room. We can assist with the design and installation with our in-house experts. Browse our quality pre-owned workstations. They're in stock and ready to install. We've got the best overall office chair of 2022 according to Forbes. Come see why the Han Ignition 2.0 was rated so highly right here at Office Furniture USA. More than you expect us to be, at less than you expect to pay.
'Tis the season to raise a little Cane by bringing Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers to your holiday celebration. Spread joy and good cheer with crispy crinkle-cut fries, garlicky buttered Texas toast, and our signature Cane sauce. Make it a holiday to remember by treating everyone on your nice list to Cane's gift cards and our cheerful Candy Cane plush puppies, which benefit local pet organizations. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
Game Time on Your View is presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way. And also brought to you by Raising Cane's. One love. John Littleback alongside Scott Garner, just about ready to get underway between Bishop Gorman and Faith Lutheran. Let's talk about tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way. What are your thoughts, Scott?
Well, for Bishop Gorman, they come in undefeated. This is a team that really wants to focus on taking good shots. Got to be very efficient tonight. And don't overhelp, as we mentioned, on defense. That's key number 2. They can't leave the shooters wide open. They would rather give up a layup in the half court than overhelp. That's really going to be the key to their success. And obviously, the Gales, key number 3, don't get out quick. They've got the size advantage, and that's something that they really want to focus on tonight. Got to move those feet.
Bishop Gorman, a team coming in at 5-0 and the 1-0 record in league play after the win last night over Liberty. A team leading 15 points for Ilan Nikolov. Nikolov, the sophomore shooter, wears number 20. He was 3 of 3 on threes in the second quarter of that victory, and one of 3 players for Bishop Gorman that got into double figures yesterday in 13 points, 10 for Nick Jefferson, and 10 for Cameron Cooper. Cameron Cooper, a guy that's going to be a D1 player at the next level, the 6'5 sophomore, goes 1 of 2 at the line, 1-0 early lead for Bishop Gorman. They really likes this kid.
They do. Cameron Cooper, 10 points, as you mentioned, against Liberty. His dad, John Cooper, is an assistant at UNLV. Scored 21 points in the championship game last week at Reno and only had 4 at the half. Really turned it on in the second frame.
Just part of a really balanced Bishop Gorman team. But Faith Lutheran on the other side, a team that doesn't score a bunch, but Charles Hyde gets them on the board early. The bucket by the junior.
That junior's 6'1". He's got a little length. He's got a little craftiness around the rim. He's a guy that can kind of carry them in the early portions of games.
Another whistle for a foul on Faith Lutheran, the second in the first quarter on the Crusaders early on. And that means Jet Washington heading to the line. For Jet Washington, who's the top safety and one of the top athletes football-wise in the class of 2026. He's getting a chance to get into football, from football shape into basketball shape.
He is getting his legs under him. And head coach Grant Rice, who's in his 24th year, talked about some of these guys coming over like Jet, who ends up showing up, turning them from a good team to a really good team.
Well, I would imagine that a 6'6" junior wing can get that done for Bishop Gorman as well, as the Gales look early on to take advantage of these opportunities at the line. But you would think that Faith Lutheran is a team that has fouls to give. They play 12 to 14 players tonight.
They go really deep. They don't really have a guy that's head and shoulders above everybody else. They are very competitive. They'll run that 5-out read and react offense. They know how to use the back cut if teams overplay. And sometimes Gorman will do that.
Alex Rogers nails a 3 for Faith Lutheran. Speaking of a guy that's coming off the football field to the basketball floor, Alex Rogers nails that triple.
Hey, yeah, he's such a crafty player. 6'2", very cerebral, knows how to get open, knows how to hit shots when he needs to. They kind of compare him to a Larry Bird type player. Not overly athletic, but man, is he smart. Looks 2 or 3 passes ahead.
5 early points for Faith Lutheran. The Crusaders, a bucket by Hyde, and the big 3 by Rogers as well. How tough is it for Faith Lutheran to come into this environment against a Bishop Gorman team that might be a little bit favored and come out with a couple early big buckets?
They're favored, but might not be quite as strong as we've seen them in years past. They've won 16 straight league titles, but they don't necessarily have the type of, they pack a punch now. They're undefeated, but maybe not quite like they have the last 2 or 3 years.
And of course, 10 of the last 12 state titles as well. A steal for Bishop Gorman. Aiden Acuna coming off the bench and scoring in transition for the Gales.
The guy that's had a knee injury, had some surgery before, junior guard. They want to see a lot out of this guy. Tough to do that. And right now we see Faith Lutheran out to a pretty good start.
Yeah, 10 points on the day for Faith Lutheran. It's 10-1 early on. Faith Lutheran in front. And what a start for this Crusaders bunch.
It really is. And Ernie Rama, you see him right there talking to his bunch. Again, they don't have any standouts, but they've got guys that will go at it competitively every single day. Everything is game speed, and they are nose to the grindstone. They don't care who they're playing. They're going to really come out and go hard on the defensive end. That's why they're out to a 10-1 lead right here.
I love it as Ace Hansen, the senior forward, comes up with the last bucket, and Tyson Price with one as well. And Bishop Gorman facing maybe their first real controversy early this season, as Nikolov hits Boudreau. Boudreau, the athletic forward, going down to the ground, loses it out. It is going to stay with Bishop Gorman, but Faith Lutheran so far making it tough to get into the inside for the 6'9" Boudreau.
You know, and when you hit 3 threes in a quarter like Nikolov did in their last ballgame, they're going to close out hard, but he does a good job of attacking that closeout. They run him off the line.
Nick Jefferson just inside the 3-point line, may have been partially blocked, and Wiley comes out with a rebound for Faith Lutheran. The Crusaders in the dark red uniforms. What a start so far.
It really is. And Wiley with a good rebound a second ago. He's not overly big, 6'4", but knows how to get in position.
Man-on-man defense for Bishop Gorman as Faith Lutheran goes through their read and react system. And the read and react says, hey, take it down low. Ace Hansen with his second bucket.
Hansen known for his speed on the hill, on the bump, on the diamond, but that time gets to the rim.
How about Tyson Price picking the pocket but missing on the dunk? However, running the floor, Hansen is right there to lay it in.
Boy, and Hansen, a guy that can clean it up, but Price starting it, a really good point guard, gets everybody involved.
Fantastic start.
I really like how Swin digs the post that time.
And the three-pointer off the mark by Nikolov midway through the first quarter. What a start for Faith Lutheran.
Faith Lutheran keeping them off the offensive glass, making them go one and done virtually every single possession. Very frustrating, I'm sure it is, for the Gales right here.
Crusaders and the Gales matched up during the summer. Easy win for Bishop Gorman in that one.
Yeah, and the paint touch turns into a high-low, but they can't quite convert.
Gales come out with it. Nick Jefferson, who has offers from Howard and Southern Utah, is the point guard for Bishop Gorman. Wraps around the pass to Cameron Cooper, whips it down low. Nice extra feed, but it's tipped out to Nikolov. He gives it to Jefferson, stepping into the three. Off the mark, the offensive rebound tipped around inside and finally brought out by Tyson Price.
St. Lutheran making them work hard to find open looks on the perimeter.
And with 3 minutes left in the opening quarter, the first foul issued to Bishop Gorman in this matchup as Nikolov picks it up. And what a start for Faith Lutheran, up 14-1 early in this first quarter.
Remember the game last year was a 13-point disparity. Gorman won that ball game, but Faith Lutheran kept it within 6 to 8. Last 3 or 4 minutes, Gorman happened to put it away. But right now, the Gales having a hard time finding looks offensively.
2 fouls aside. 3 minutes left in this opening quarter. Great look off underneath, but Rogers comes up short for Faith Lutheran. And on the rebound, there's a loose ball foul coming against the Crusaders.
Boy, love watching Swin play at 2 different speeds right there with a left-handed dribble. Watch this, what a great feed down inside. And Alex Rogers, who had 8 and 5 coming in on average, great 2-guard, the quarterback. Pretty decent touch around the rim, but sometimes doesn't always go.
Yeah, Rogers picks up the foul going after that rebound. To avoid the 10-second count, here comes Jefferson.
Well, great job cutting off the baseline, a principle within the Crusaders' defense.
And more contact inside the arc, and Carmona comes up short. Again, the defense just coming to play for Faith Lutheran. Little loose handle, and Faith able to make sure to keep a hold of it here late in the first quarter.
I like how Faith Lutheran puts the pressure on the Gorman defense here.
Pull-up shot over Jet Washington will not go down. Rebound brought in by Carmona. And you get a good look at Dino Roberts on the way up. Spin inside. Jefferson comes up short but grabs his own miss off the jump stop. Johnson inside. He's not able to wing it home, and Bishop Gorman has still not made a field goal.
You see Johnson, extremely athletic, tempo guard. He is an elite defender, too.
And Johnson comes up with a steal, blows the dunk attempt. Long rebound knocked around, and Ace Hansen has it. Numbers for Faith Lutheran. Corner 3 is down for Mason Schweitzer. And the Crusaders can do no wrong.
Schweitzer gets to a spot in transition. They kick it to the corner. An extremely coachable kid. Man, he's got great mechanics from that left corner.
If you are just tuning in here on Yurview and you're thinking 17-1, that can't be accurate. Yeah, it is. What a start for Faith Lutheran. And looking for more to the cup. No, sir. And the rebound knocked around inside. Dino Roberts has the board, and he is fouled. 4th team foul on Faith Lutheran.
You know, it's a 16-point lead here, too, for the Crusaders. Could be a lot more. They've missed some bunnies. They've missed some layups in transition. They had a 2-on-1 a second ago. And you don't see Price miss many of these, but he does so right there. And they're lucky they don't get a second opportunity.
What has helped Faith Lutheran in this start? 17-1. It's not just a lucky start by any stretch.
They've come out with terrific energy. They've set the tone. And right now Gorman is playing at Lutheran's pace. It does not favor the Gales.
Gales, 10 of their last 12 state titles, coming off a 5A title last year, trying to make their own name for themselves. Great work inside by Tyler Johnson, the sophomore, getting to the bucket, laying one home.
Best offensive possession. Offense is about spacing and timing, and that time the best spacing we've seen from Gorman so far. Missed the first one. They had a couple of second chances at it, and they stayed with it.
Johnson just would not say die. Knocked around inside, whistle and a foul. And give this one to Cameron Cooper. Foul shots on the way for the Crusaders.
Really like how the shot goes up, and Faith Lutheran's got 3 guys in the paint right there. They really crash the boards on the offensive end, and we see Bentley Swin, the 6'4" junior guard, a guy that really plays defense really well. And he's a hustle guy. He's the first guy on the floor, but he also is able to get fouled underneath, and that's really valuable when you talk about guys that play the 2 and the 3 spot.
Second free throw, in and out And Swin goes 1 of 2. Faith Lutheran extends that advantage 18-3. Pick up the dribble, pull up by Johnson, does not fall, but you see how they're going through Johnson since he's come off the bench.
And key number 1 was to take good shots. That is a very tough mid-range take right there, particularly when your team's struggling offensively.
Coming out of the corner, Schweitzer, who's already hit a 3, elbow jumper, and he is smooth as butter on that one. A 20-3 advantage.
Faith Lutheran, Schweitzer's third different school. He played at Durango, played at Red Rock, and he has made his home here with Faith Lutheran. Knocks down the mid-range. What a shot toward the end of the quarter.
Just a few seconds left in the quarter. A chance for the Gales to get back on the board with 5 and jump ball.
Oh, look at that toughness right there. They just swarmed the ball in the short corner, a staple of how the Crusaders have been playing this year.
Man, wow, what a start by Ernie Rama's team. They've got 3 seconds left in the quarter to try to bring it up. A chance from beyond midcourt comes up short, but what a start for Faith Lutheran. Up 20-3 on undefeated Bishop Gorman. Mason Schweitzer and the boys. Absolute money.
Your support of Findlay Automotive drives positive change in the lives of real people. Findlay Volkswagen supports Vegas Pet Rescue Project. They find both temporary and permanent homes for abused and abandoned pets. Findlay Automotive, serving our community since 1961. To our incredible community, thank you for choosing Findlay Automotive. Because of you, Findlay was able to give more than $2.1 million to local charities last year. When you shop at Findlay, you drive positive change for our community. Serving our community since 1961.
Great news, the Cox Tech Award is here and ready for applications. If you are running an LGBTQ plus business, you could be eligible to win a $5,000 tech grant. To apply, head over to glccnv.org/Cox to submit your application. Not a GLCC NV member yet? No worries. Join us and then you can apply. Applications are open from August 19th until October 30th, so head over to glccnv.org/Cox and submit your application today. We can't wait to see what you'll achieve.
The Faith Lutheran Crusaders putting Bishop Gorman at home, but on notice. A 20-3 first quarter. Faith Lutheran in front as we go to the second quarter. John Little back with Scott Garner. What does Bishop Gorman have to do to get back into this thing?
Gorman, they've got to be patient. They just have to stay within themselves. Faith has come out with all of the energy on the road. Bishop's at home here. Still a very winnable game for Gorman, but they've got to start putting together good offensive possessions.
Great defensive start for Faith Lutheran. Yeah, you hold a team to just 1 field goal in a quarter, and a team the caliber of Bishop Gorman. And you start thinking, wow, what a day this is going to be. What a creation, though, by Johnson, feeding it inside the dish to Cooper for 2.
Great job to get it to Cooper. That's why he had 10 the other day. Again, his dad's an assistant at UNLV. This is a guy who doesn't hunt for shots, but he will make himself available, especially when you double the ball.
Right down the lane, Cole Keith, like a fullback, going to the bucket and fouled by Nikolov.
Boy, really like how Price stays in front of the ball, but they end up doubling, finding the open man as something that they just have not done very well. But what a job by these Crusaders to stay with it. You see Cole going to the line here.
Nikolov picks up his second. Cole Keith, undersized guy, but a great linebacker on the football field for this Faith Lutheran squad that just is coming off football season and headed to Cornell.
Yes, and he moves really well for his thickness. He's a guy that really can bang down low, a little bit undersized, but he can get it done inside.
Great to have you with us on the Year-View Game of the Week. Long miss and a long rebound tracked down by Tyson Price. Staying with it, and in the backcourt, a timeout called by Ernie Rama to make sure that his team could get it over the midcourt stride.
Great teams generally change their defenses, and that's what Gorman has gone to. They've gone to a little bit of a three-quarter court press here to try to speed Faith up, get them out of their rhythm. The pacing of this game has been in favor of the Crusaders. They've come out, they've dictated tempo, but a really nice move right here, I think, by Grant Rice. It's in his 24th year as the head coach for Gorman, and he's talked about how he learned so much for Bill Brin, who was his coach at UNLV in the mid-90s. Brin, a guy that actually coached under John Calipari at UMass. But this is a great move by Gorman, I think, and you see them huddling there coming out of it to change the tempo. They're trying to pressure a little bit.
See if they keep that pressure on. 7:16 left in the second quarter. Faith Lutheran still up by 16.
But what a punch in the mouth. What a punch delivered by Faith Lutheran. It's one thing to do it at home, but how about doing it on the road?
Pressure continues. However, right to the bucket, Cole Keith just lips out the lay-in and rebound corralled by Cooper.
Lutheran gets a look, but it wasn't a good enough press break, I don't think, for Gorman to jump out of it. I think they stay in that press.
Roberts giving some ground against another edge defender in Schweitzer. Gets it back in the corner. Roberts on the twist to the bucket for two.
Really great closeout right there. And Dino Roberts, the junior guard, he can run a team. Great at that point spot. He's averaging 8 points off the bench, and he's giving them a little bit of a spark right here, and they need it.
Great job to get it across midcourt. Cupping to the hole on the reverse. Johnson comes up short, but an offensive rebound by Keith. Can't hit it. Long rebound. Nikolov brings it ahead. Nikolov all the way to the cup. Normally he's at the three-point line trying to hit shots. Here, he gets fouled heading to the bucket and tries to cut into this 21-7 advantage for Faith Lutheran.
Yeah, and if you're keeping score here, watch how they really force the Crusaders to play defense getting to the rim there, and they couldn't play defense without fouling. I think the move to go to the press to muddy the waters has really helped Gorman. They've won now 3 possessions in a row. They need to muddy this game up. It's been way too comfortable for the visiting team so far.
Nikolov in and out on the first free throw. Had 15 last night. How tough do you think it is for Gorman to get right back out there against a rival after a big 20-point win in a league game last night?
Well, I think the last 3 possessions certainly helped them and helped their confidence, and you see the tough trap here. This Crusader team having a hard time just breaking the press. We'll see if they get sped up, which they do. That's not a very good take. Gorman wins yet another possession.
Yeah, Price off the mark, and Nick Jefferson back in the game to run the show. Here comes Jed Washington with the handoff. Cooper pulling up from 15, but way short.
You can't really waste that possession. That's a take that the Crusaders want Gorman to take. That is a tough mid-range shot. You want to bypass good shots to get great shots, and that was not a great look.
See, Bishop Gorman has the size advantage, but so far, Faith Lutheran has looked undaunted in this game.
Like how the Crusaders get back into their half court here. No shot clock in Nevada high school basketball. About 27 states have a shot clock in high school. Nevada does not.
Cut off out front. Swin doubled and a jump ball. And the possession arrow is in favor of Bishop Gorman here. It may stay. No, it's switched, of course, since the quarter. My apologies. So it will stay with Faith Lutheran. But, again, active hands by Bishop Gorman.
Very active hands. Gorman doing a good job here since this second quarter began. But the shot clock was incorporated at the college level in the mid-'80s. It started at 45 seconds, went down to 35 seconds in the mid-'90s. It's now down to 30. A lot of coaches feel like you should have a shot clock here at high school because a lot of teams at this stage would pull the ball out.
5 minutes left in the first half. 13-point lead for Faith Lutheran with the ball right now. Ace Hansen skipping it out. Back to Schweitzer, who has 5 already.
And they're running a 5-out read and react system. They've got 5 guys on the perimeter, and as soon as one guy passes, he'll cut to the basket. Now they're running a little ball screen action out of it.
Price takes a deep triple, and what a 3 by Tyson Price, his second 3 of the early game.
Well, he's a guy that can shoot, and he's really great at getting into the lane, but that time he shoots from deep. That's not his forte, but he knocks it down.
Well, he's already got 2 in this one. Jet Washington off the mark. Tip dunk, though, by Chris Boudreau to put Bishop Gorman back on the board.
Nice response right there by Boudreau, and they've got to have more baskets like that.
Still 14-point advantage for the Crusaders. They led by 16 at the end of 1. Another deep 3. This one a little strong by Price, and Washington tracks down the board.
You know, in time and score and given the pace of this game and who's controlling the momentum, you don't really want an early 3 like that. I can't imagine that Ernie Rama would be very happy about the last 2 shots that his Crusaders have taken, but we'll see how they adjust.
Hey, you're feeling it, right? And then Price was looking to pick the pocket at Nick Jefferson. Just reached all the way across his body to pick up the foul. Midway through the second quarter, Bishop Gorman, a team that's a high-scoring team, scored 80 last night, only 10 points, and a lot of contact with no call. And you saw Nick Jefferson come up and calling for a foul on Tyson Price.
Impressed with guys like Jefferson being able to contest shots for a team that likes to keep teams out of the paint. It's hard to guard the paint and the perimeter, but the Crusaders finding a way to do it.
Crusaders back into that 5-out motion offense. Maybe one post down there, but still a lot of motion. Jefferson, comes up with the pick and back up the floor. A foul called on Faith Lutheran.
Well, Jefferson, you see why he was the MVP at the Reno tournament earlier this year. You feel like he's kind of been with Gorman 8 or 10 years. He's so savvy, can create. And Gorman, they've got a lot of athleticism, but I like how the Crusaders have kept them really from going off in transition. That's why Gorman's only got 10 points. Every basket they've scored has been like pulling teeth.
Give Tomchek that foul, and another one as the entry pass comes into Bedreau, and Bedreau shoots a couple. Tyson Price whistled for the foul, which I believe is the 5th of this quarter now on Faith Lutheran.
But you look at the players on the floor here. You look at Jet Washington. You look at Chris Bedreau. These guys have some length. They've got athleticism. And Gorman may be a little bit taller. They may be a little bit more athletic. But Faith has done a really good job of playing 13 or 14 players deep. And they really play well as a unit. And they can seem like they're bigger than they actually are.
Check that. That is the 4th foul this quarter. So one more, and Bishop Gorman shoots for the remainder of the first half. Bedreau back at Bishop Gorman after a year in California. Also played his freshman and sophomore seasons here in Las Vegas. 0 for 2 on that trip, though.
And he's super athletic, a legit 6'9".
Great steal by Tyler Johnson. Johnson in the land of the trees gives it back to Jefferson, the floater. It catches Snow on the way down for 2.
Oh, that first step quickness. He won that possession on his first step. Great job getting into the paint, making it a short shot.
Great job to break the press here. And on the trip to the hole, Ace Hansen is fouled by Bedreau. And Ace Hansen to the line.
Still like how Bedreau was willing to stay in front, take the hit, take the contact. Very hard these days in both collegiate basketball and at the high school level to draw the charge because the officials demand that you stay exactly in legal guarding position, squared up to the attacking guard. But still, you have to be willing to challenge shots. And as a result, you're going to get called for a foul or 2 more per game if you're one of those guys.
I know you love this guy, Ace Hansen, by the way. Just tough as nails, a guy you don't want to play against. But, hey, happy he's on your team, right?
So good, blue-collar guy. He's a guy that you have to have. You got to have him in practice because, as they say, iron sharpens iron. He makes everybody around him better, and it generally happens in practice.
And Hansen leads all scorers with 7 in this one. Faith Lutheran extends the lead back to 13. They've been in control the whole way after a 10-1 spurt to get us started tonight. Jet Washington left unguarded, and he nails the triple. Watch out. The junior wing is getting heated up.
Max Prep's National Player of the Year. He can do it anywhere on the floor, showing us why he's so highly regarded.
Take a look at it one more time, and that was a kick ball on Washington.
From the corner, knocks it down. Great shooting form. He's got so much confidence, and why shouldn't he?
Jet Washington, Kobe Bryant's nephew, his mom, Kobe Bryant's sister, as a timeout is called here by Faith Lutheran. And Faith was in trouble. Bentley Swin got doubled in the backcourt. And so Grant Rice, you mentioned it the last time out, that he had changed things up. He needed the defense to start locking some things down. And that defense, it's still a 10-point ball game right now, but that defense has helped in the comeback attempt.
It's tightened up a lot, especially when the lead has gone from almost 20 down to 10. They've trimmed a lot off of this lead. And right now, it feels like Gorman has outplayed this Faith Lutheran team over the last 6 to 7 minutes of gameplay. It all started with the press. And don't worry, because Bishop Gorman is not a team that's going to go away. Hey, they've won 16 straight league titles. That's a lot. And 10 of the last 12 state titles in their division. That's a 5A team facing a 4A team tonight. They have the experience, and Grant Rice, such a great coach. 24 years he's been here at Gorman.
Good job to get the hand in the passing lane. Knock it into the air by Trey McKinney. The Gales have it back. High-stepping Nick Jefferson. Back into the front court. Now a 10-point game. Jefferson, no-look feed. McKinney, back to Jefferson. Pull-up shot right of the elbow, money.
Boy, when you knock that thing down, and that's the take that they want you to take, man, that is a gut punch to the Crusaders.
Near turnover, but Faith Lutheran able to get across midcourt. Price stripped going up by Washington. Bishop Gorman is on a run and looking for more. And it's Washington out to Carmona. Underneath. Johnson covered up.
Gales knocked this down. They may need a timeout.
In and out by Washington, but Tyler Johnson is there and scooping back to the hoop. A second chance opportunity. He's not huge. He only is 6 foot flat, but look at the way he gets after this offensive rebound.
Getting after it. Yeah, 3 guys in black there. The only guy there that got it was the gentleman in white, and he's able to grab it, go up, draw the foul. About 80% of the possessions here in the second half have resulted in either made baskets by Bishop Gorman or a foul drawn.
And Johnson hits the first. Johnson was outstanding last night. I know you were just gushing about his performance in the win over Liberty. You're talking about 9 points, 5 rebounds, but 10 assists off the bench for Tyler Johnson.
He's an up-tempo guard, all-tournament team in Reno last weekend. This is a guy that they never call a play for. He just makes other players better. That's why he's got 10 assists.
Oh, and at just a sophomore, the future is so bright for this athletic guy. And a steal from behind. Washington comes up with it. It's a 6-point game. Twist in the lane. Offensive foul is called against Kingston Carmona. Good job to take the charge by Emory Johnson.
Emory Johnson stood there and waited and waited and waited. Finally took the hit. It results in a charge. So hard to get that charge drawn. But you watch Stewart coming down the floor. I thought it was a great feed down inside. A better spin move by Carmona, but they end up drawing the charge.
Emory Johnson can be a little bit foul prone, but man, the highest energy on this Crusaders bunch. Floater in the lane, and Faith Lutheran really needed that. Tyson Price instead is whistled. There's a foul called here against Bishop Gorman. My apologies.
And that's their best offensive possession in maybe 5 minutes. That's the first paint touch they've had with numbers since I can remember. Faith Lutheran struggling right now from an offensive standpoint, but this is all about Gorman's proficiency defensively, not the ineptitude by the Crusaders.
Chet Washington, the steal, behind the back, in transition, floater up, around and off, and he'll go to the line as Bishop Gorman continues to get opportunities off of turnovers.
The athleticism allowing Washington to get into the paint, but his propensity to love football more than basketball, the reason he misses that floater. And that's what his coach had mentioned. Grant Rice said, hey, 0 to 10, he's a 10 as a football player, about an 8.5 as a basketball player because he can't be in the gym as much as most sole basketball players. He'd love to be at a 10 from a basketball standpoint. Still 8.5, not bad.
No, I'd like to be 8.5 at anything.
Absolutely.
And the second of the 2 shots goes down for Washington. And closing it down to a 5-point game. And when you think about the big hole that Bishop Gorman dug for itself against Faith Lutheran, it was 17-1. To have it down to 5 right now, that's big. Another steal as McKinney comes out of nowhere. Johnson on the baseline, hands it off inside, count it, and a foul for Kingston Carmona.
I can't believe, watching the last 6 minutes of this game, that the Crusaders had a 17-point lead at the end of the first quarter. That's not what we've seen. And again, they're trying to break the press, can't do it. Long opposite's the right pass, but maybe not against Tyson Price and a guy like Tyler Johnson, because Johnson's so athletic, and they're able to get another steal and a finish at the rim, drawing the foul.
Well, they're going to say that the foul was before the shot, so no bucket for Carmona. Wipe off the shot, and that is a break for Faith Lutheran. Carmona misses on the front end.
Or Grant Rice, who turns 50 years old next week.
Well, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Coach Rice. He's so savvy, knows the right buttons to push. He's been there 24 years at Bishop Gorman, And when he went to the press to start the second quarter, he could not have made a better move as a head coach. They've absolutely destroyed the Crusaders here in quarter number 2.
Good job to break the press. Can they get the shot they need? Schweitzer here late in the first half. Crusaders a little bit slower pace than Bishop Gorman normally. Schweitzer against a much bigger player in McKinney, just hounded. Schweitzer tumbling through the lane, and they'll get the travel on Schweitzer, who never gave it up that possession.
They haven't, and talk about giving it up. Bishop Gorman has come out, and they have surrendered everything. They've left it all on the floor here in the second quarter. They turned it up defensively. They're cutting cutters. They're not letting guys without the ball go where they want to go. This is really good defense from a team that doesn't like to overhelp.
Nick Jefferson just fine with slowing things down, taking up all of the 10-second count to bring it across midcourt. And the Gales maybe looking to play for the final shot. Again, like Scott mentioned, no shot clock here in the Nevada high school game.
A chance to tie this game.
Get it a lot closer. Nikolov, though, has his pocket pick. Tyson Price checks the clock with 3 seconds and has it taken back by Johnson from midcourt. That one just a little bit wide. And that is the half. With Faith Lutheran still up on Bishop Gorman, the Crest score 25-20 here at the half.
Pain resolved. Finally, Centennial Spine and Pain offers unique pain solutions. All without monthly visits, unsatisfying injections, or harmful medications. Patients come to us for minimally invasive procedures that provide permanent pain resolution, not just pain management. So if you've got back or joint pain, burning foot pain, or an injury, we're here to get you to a life without pain. Finally. Centennial Spine and Pain. Call today.
Whether you moved here or you're born and raised, we've all got one thing in common. We're locals. At Channel 13, our mission is to protect our local way of life. We fight for you.
The work that you did played a big role in saving my siblings' lives.
Listen to your concerns.
Is she going to be safe at school?
And stand up for what's right in this place we call home. Watch Channel 13 live at 6.
Or catch the replays weekday mornings and evenings on Yurview, Channel 51.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Yurview or stream it online at yurview.com. Doing More is brought to you in part by the Eric Roy Law Firm. Call your boy, Eric Roy.
Welcome back to Bishop Gorman High School here in Las Vegas and the Raising Cane's halftime show here on Yurview. Raising Cane's, one love. John Littleback alongside Scott Garner. Great game at the half, a tale of two quarters. 25-20 is the Faith Lutheran lead on Bishop Gorman at the break. So here's how it broke down, Scott. 20-3 in the first quarter for Faith Lutheran, and then in the second quarter, a complete turnaround, 17-5. So don't want to sell Faith Lutheran short. How did they start out so well in this game?
They came out with energy, and that's what you've got to do when you're the underdog on the road against a team like Bishop Gorman, a team that had won 16 straight leagues going back into the early 2000s. But, man, Bishop Gorman got punched in the mouth. And Faith Lutheran did a great job of controlling tempo, but things changed at the quarter break. I promise you, Grant Rice let him know about it. He talked to his team. They came out with a completely different mindset. They started the press. They forced Faith Lutheran to execute the press break. They couldn't do it. They must have turned it over 10 times in that second quarter. And by virtue of getting the Crusaders to turn it over, well, Gorman's now within 5.
And definitely they have the advantage going that direction. So what does Faith Lutheran have to do to steady the ship coming out for the third quarter? Because they know, hey, they're going to get a lot of pressure.
Well, they knew that turnovers were the key. In fact, that was key number one in our keys to success for the Crusaders. They could not let this Gorman team take the ball away from, because they knew that Gorman would pressure some. They knew that they would run some three-quarter court pressure, some 2-2-1, some 2-1-2. All of that was going to factor in, but for whatever reason, Lutheran just could not withstand that pressure. That pressure was immense. It was almost like an avalanche the first 3 minutes to begin that second quarter.
We'll look at the first half highlights coming up on the Raising Cane's halftime show here on Your View with a 25-20 advantage for Faith Lutheran on Bishop Gorman at the half.
From New York City comes America's longest-running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Main Street Living. Join our hosts, Danielle, Quincy, Cheryl, Tom, Brandy, and Valerie as they share fascinating stories from our street to your street with interviews from across the country. Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. Great people, great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.
Welcome back into the Raising Cane's halftime show here on Your View. Bishop Gorman trailing Faith Lutheran at the break, 25-20. John Littleback alongside Scott Garner. Great to have you with us. And if you're looking at a tight game at the half, it didn't look like that back in the first quarter when Faith Lutheran was taking such a big lead in this game. Scott, they came out strong.
They did, and it helps when you come out with energy and you're hitting shots, and that's what we saw out of the Crusaders right off the bat, and that's why they were able to take the 17-point lead. It seemed like everything that they shot the first 4 minutes of the game went in. We saw it from the left corner, we saw it from the top, and these guys mean business. Schweitzer was really good early. They hit from everywhere, from 4 feet beyond the arc to the corners. They did a really good job, but then things started to change a little bit, and you saw Gorman get to the rim.
Yeah, they did, and start to create off of turnovers as well, right?
They did, and talk about creating your own shot. How about Mick Jefferson right there out of the mid-range, and then they were able to get Carmona inside, and when he wasn't making baskets, he was drawing fouls.
Tyler Johnson, a big energy player off the bench for Bishop Gorman, helped switch this game as well. Again, a 20-3 first quarter in favor of Faith Lutheran. In the second quarter, Bishop Gorman cuts it down to a 25-20 game here at the half. And so what do you think that Faith Lutheran told their kids at the half? Ernie Rama.
Well, number one, they've got to play with poise coming out of the second half. They really got sped up from an offensive standpoint. They were able to shoot in rhythm the first 8 minutes. Was not like that in the second frame. And they've got to know that they cannot allow Bishop Gorman to turn them over so rapidly. And it's not that the turnovers were coming furiously. It's that there were so many live ball turnovers off of their press.
And we'll talk about what Bishop Gorman needs to do to erase the rest of this lead coming up in just a moment. This has been the Raising Cane's halftime report on Your View. Raising Cane's, one love.
'Tis the season to raise a little cane by bringing Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers to your holiday celebration. Spread joy and good cheer with crispy crinkle-cut fries, garlicky buttered Texas toast, and our signature cane sauce. Make things even merrier with our festive beanies, socks, mugs, and more for everyone on your nice list. And for a little extra holiday spirit, drop a Cane's gift card in their stockings. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
The holidays are a time to feel joyful and connect with the people that matter most. Join Your View for curated, uplifting Spirit of the Season programming as we celebrate the holidays from November 2nd to January 4th with our special selection of feel-good holiday movies and show specials. Spirit of the Season is brought to you by
Centennial Spine and Pain. Don't spend your holidays hurting. Centennial Spine and Pain is pain resolved finally.
Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. From local mom-and-pop restaurants to those owned and operated by top chefs, from kitchen action to the inspiration behind the dishes, we deliver the culinary creations of Vegas.
Ready to start the second half. The ugly sweater contest goes to that man right there. We had the ugly sweater contest, and he won. Congratulations. Faith Lutheran up on Bishop Gorman 25-20 at the break. John Little back with Scott Garner.
I didn't realize I had him over. He's at my chair right there right on the middle of his shirt, doesn't he?
He does. That is a very, very nice, easy chair.
That's a cozy sweater.
It is. And if you're going to figure out somebody to honor, it kind of starts with C.J. Watson here at Bishop Gorman and all that he did in his years for the Gales. But as we go to the second half for Bishop Gorman, what's the key to erasing the rest of this Faith Lutheran League?
Well, number one, they've got to keep Faith from getting and finishing at the rim. And this is also a Gorman team that can turn you over. They've got to come out with that same energy, keep the waters muddied, and keep Faith Lutheran out of their offensive rhythm. They were so good when they muddied the waters in that second quarter. Let's see if they can keep applying that pressure.
Homestanding Gales have won 10 straight at home. Faith Lutheran has won 7 straight true road games. Hey, which one is going to win out today? And Jet Washington takes a lot of contact, high post. Ace Hansen picks up the foul here early in the second half. Faith Lutheran up by 5.
This is a Gorman team that's really on a big stretch. They've got 8 games in 11 days. They're really excited about playing in that LeBron James Classic, that big event in Vegas at the MGM Grand this weekend.
Oh, by the way, that was the 3rd foul on Ace Hansen. Watch that. That could be a big problem moving forward for Faith Lutheran. And again, out of the high post, trying to go through Jet Washington. Washington going to work and a little bit strong against Hansen.
Again, that's that touch around the basket that he doesn't have simply because he's been playing football for the last 4 months. But still, just being able to get into that position and his body, it allows him to have success.
Washington takes it away. Skies cleared for liftoff for Jet Washington.
Boy, what a great player he will be, not just on the football gridiron, but basketball. If he should elect to go there that way, and a lot of colleges want him to be a 2-sport player.
But he's still trying to figure out which position he's going to play in football as well. Is he going to be a safety? Is he going to be an outside linebacker? Could he put on poundage and become one of those stand-up defensive ends? It's nice to have options, isn't it?
Big-time options. That body type allows him to do that. Hey, speaking of body type, how about Tyson Price right there off the bounce? Really impressed with him. But, yeah, Jet Washington, look at this guy.
Washington in transition.
Man, he is so good, and he can throw it down. When he's on a breakaway like that, look out. He can bring the house down.
And another giveaway for Faith Lutheran. This is becoming a trend. I think it's been a trend probably for the last 15 minutes of game time.
It has been. It's a trend that they have to figure out, because if this game continues the way it is, no way they're going to be able to get the upset tonight.
Spot up 3, in and out for Cameron Cooper. But Hansen tracks down the rebound. Could have tied it. We have not been level since it was 0-0.
Hansen, the guy that was moved from JV to the varsity in his middle of his freshman year. He's been on the varsity since, and you see why he's averaging 8 rebounds a game.
Hansen blocked inside by Boudreau. At least he changed the shot. And a run out in transition, laying it up and in. Ilan Nikolov. It's a 1-point game.
What a great outlet pass, on time, on the money. That's how you win the transition game.
And Jefferson was the one that fed it. And now Bishop Gorman has a chance to take the lead. They have never led in this game, 25-24. Here comes Jefferson downhill, tipped and out of bounds. It stays with the Gales.
We're doing it with defense, and right now the Crusaders have little remedy, because this is all about speed, athleticism, length, and just being able to find the right guy on time. They have been getting downhill since the start of the second quarter.
3 for the lead. It goes for Nick Jefferson, and the Gales have climbed the mountain.
Boy, Nick Jefferson, we mentioned how It just feels like he's been here forever. One of the best players in the state. He's a 3-level player.
7-0 spurt to start the second half for Bishop Gorman. Crusaders have got to calm down here. It's a good place to go with the basketball in Price. Price overplayed and fouled. It stays with the Crusaders.
You know, when you're playing a team that's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, it's very hard to do it in the half court. You've got to try to out-quick them.
And speaking of quickness, good job by Wiley flashing open inside.
Had to have that bucket right there. Gets this ball game tied. That's like found money in the couch cushion.
It's our first tie of the ball game. Backing in through the lane and fouled Chris Boudreau. He doesn't post up a lot, but he did there.
He doesn't. Again, a legit 6'9" guy. I loved how he was one-on-one, made the read early, went to his right shoulder, over that right shoulder, did not allow this Crusader team to dig the post to double him. Great decision on time. He's a really good player down to the post box.
How do you see his game opening up at the collegiate level? You know, some guys at 6'9", we see him play at the wing these days.
You know, he's got offers from Fresno State, Utah Tech taking a look at him, Southern Utah, Montana. All of these schools understand with his length, with his patience, with his ability around the rim. He's got great touch. He's going to be a very good Division I player. I think he's just going to keep getting better and better. He puts in the gym time.
0 for 4 at the foul line, though, in this one. That's a part of his game. He's trying to expand.
Got to be able to shoot foul shots, particularly if you're big. Really like the patience here. First time they have been patient on the press break, throwing the long opposite pass. That's how you break it.
3 for the lead. Bottoms for Alex Rogers, the long lefty for 3.
Boy, love how Faith Lutheran has come out and they have done what they've been coached to do.
And Nick Jefferson is fouled going to the hoop. No basket as the foul came before the shot, and Jefferson heads to the line for 2.
You know, when you're a team like the Crusaders and you don't have that length, you're a little bit undersized playing in a long athletic team like Gorman, you've got to be patient in that press break. You've got to catch the ball, face up, get your eyes up, and get it to the open man, especially against the zone press, which we've seen some of from Bishop Gorman tonight. That was a great press break. We'll see how many times the Crusaders have to break it before Gorman gets out of it. They have not had to get out of it tonight.
Jefferson up to 8 points. Make it 9. It's a 1-point game. By the way, Ace Hansen had to come out of the game. Faith Lutheran picking up their 3rd team foul of the quarter already. Still a 1-point lead for the Crusaders. Another good job to break the press. Catch and shoot 3 by Price. Long rebound. Here comes Washington.
That's the look they want. They've got to play offense while Gorman is scrambling, playing that zone press.
Tyler Johnson in off the bench. Brings the instant energy here midway through the 3rd quarter. Off the jump stop, nothing for Jefferson. Feeds it out to the corner. Cooper off the mark. Rebound by Johnson, and he's fouled.
Great job by Johnson to get that ball chinned and to pivot, forcing Gorman to foul him right there. Great job right there. Got to get the ball off the hip. You keep it on your hip, it gets tied up. He's got to get that ball to his chin. He does so almost, but draws the foul. Does enough to get the ball up under his chin to get fouled.
It's the first foul on Johnson. Johnson on Johnson action there as Tyler Johnson picks up his first.
Right now, you get a look at Ernie Rama, who's in his 5th season right here. 41 years old, originally from Washington State. He is a great coach. Understands that teaching life principles really allows them to be successful on the floor and knows how to get his team to play hard at every turn.
Just before the 10-second call, Crusaders able to get it across. Johnson into the corner. Finds Price.
There's no shot clock now. You can settle down and get into your half-court stuff here.
Price again. On the fadeaway. No good from 13. Long rebound.
Nice drive by Price and had a little leverage.
Tyler Johnson for the lead. And he hits it in transition. Tyler Johnson puts Bishop Gorman back in front.
And Gorman has really had to work to get this lead, but work they have after they were down 17 at the end of the 1st quarter. They've got the lead here late 3rd.
And how fun has this game been with its twists, its turns, the great start for the Crusaders. Bishop Gorman on the comeback trail. It's been a lot of fun.
Some great players right here. They've got both of these two teams have players that are going to play at the next level. That's one of the reasons why they have won their league. They're in 2 separate classifications, Division 5A for Bishop Gorman, 4A for Faith Lutheran.
Great takeaway. Jefferson off to Johnson. Back to Jefferson. Waits. Hits it. Plus the foul. Skying it high off the glass. Catching Emory Johnson with the contact. And Bishop Gorman out in front by 3.
All of these live ball turnovers that Faith Lutheran has given up have been turned into either points or fouls, it seems, since the start of the second. Great job of catching that one, and Nick Jefferson gets to the rim, draws the contact, finishes high off the window. Really nice job taking the hit and concentrating at the rim.
Can't complete the and one. Still a 3-point advantage. It's the Gales' largest. Right back into the press. Able to break it. Emory Johnson in the corner, doubled up, and travels.
Well, against that trap, you don't want to dribble against it. You've got to get big. You've got to get balance. You've got to get the ball high or rip it around your feet, but you can't play off balance like that or they're going to eat your lunch.
Senior forward for Faith Lutheran, though. What a high-effort guy, would do anything to be a part of his team. This team, says Ernie Rama. That pass here. Not back in bounds. Are you kidding me? What an effort play by Tyler Johnson. And on the other end, Carmona is going to get 2 foul shots out of it. Everybody gave up on it.
Well, they did, and I thought for a moment that box shot around the baseline would be enough, but it wasn't. You see right there, they're trying to box him out, but Rogers couldn't finish it. It's saved. Everybody gave up on it except number 3 right there, Tyler Johnson. That's the kind of player he is. That's why he gets 9 and 5 off the bench.
Man, he is my favorite player I've seen in the high school game early this season.
Energy, up-tempo guard. Johnson's an elite defender. This is a guy that gets most of his points off turnovers. He does the dirty work.
What I like best about it is they never have to call a play for him. He just finds the basketball.
The more plays you call, the less you score.
He did it again. Johnson crossing over, handoff, Carmona for 2, but spotlight on number 3, Tyler Johnson.
Boy, the Crusaders may need a timeout right now just to get their breath because this Gorman team's got it turned up as high as they've had it turned up all game.
You got to know where number 3 in white is at all times. Seems like there are about 4 of them out there. Bishop Gorman, their largest lead, up by 6. Flash inside, off of the cutting Keith, and out.
Great job by the cutting Keith, but he doesn't come ball side, but look at that dish.
And we didn't catch the steal, which was a one-hander high in the air, but then the no-look dish as well. Carmona out of the corner, off the mark.
Well, that's a defensive rebound that the Crusaders absolutely had to have any kind of chance to get some points here before the end of the quarter.
We finally have a 3-on-2, and in transition, way off to the right by Schweitzer. And loose ball foul against Faith Lutheran. It goes on Emory Johnson.
Boy, and when you get an opportunity, you've got Schweitzer there taking the off-balance 15-footer as opposed to getting a great look. Well, Schweitzer's hit some deep threes tonight, but that's not the take, I don't think, that Ernie Rama wanted.
No, and that is the 2nd foul on Emory Johnson, but the 5th team foul of the quarter. And about 80 feet away from the basket, you get 2 foul shots for Jet Washington.
I love how we mentioned some schools trying to convince Jet to come their way, luring him at an opportunity to be a 2-sport guy. I think he can do it.
You know, why not? He definitely has the talent. 2nd free throw, no good. Carmona couldn't hit the putback.
That's just 1-2 right there by Carmona. He had absolutely no business to get that offensive rebound, had a second chance at it.
No good looks for Faith Lutheran. Another steal, this time by Tyler Johnson. The home run pass.
We like how the Crusaders sprinted back, though, and didn't give up an easy one.
And a steal right back the other way by Alex Rogers. Faith Lutheran has to figure out a way to get back in it.
Got numbers here if you want it.
Price off the rim, doesn't fall. But Wiley pulls in the rebound. He's fouled. That's the 13th foul on Gorman.
Carmona, McKinney, some of these other guys are so good down low. They will just bang you around. Look at that, 4-on-1. And that's just a suffocating position to be in, especially when you're undersized anyway. And this Gorman team, they have been playing tough since the second quarter began.
Yeah, Faith Lutheran was up, if you're just joining us, by 17 at the end of 1. Yes, they were up by 17, but Bishop Gorman has turned around, and now Carmona gets the steal and the transition flush. Gales up by 9.
I think Gorman's forced about 2 weeks worth of turnovers since the 8-minute mark. of that first quarter. Man, this has been something to behold. They have turned it up. Just hard to get loose and getting turnovers at every turn.
You got your apple turnovers, your blueberry turnovers, and your transition turnovers. Kingston Carmona throwing it down, and Bishop Gorman fully in control.
And Carmona's 6'5" and has put on a little bit more weight. He's now about 210 pounds. He can score, he can defend, and man, he can certainly finish around the rim. Highlight reel stuff here from Bishop Gorman. The Gales have it rolling at home right now.
And a timeout, much needed by Ernie Rama for Faith Lutheran. And I don't know what's the most stunning. I'm not sure how the Crusaders did this right off the bat, going up 20-3. And maybe it was just one of those days where it took Bishop Gorman a moment to figure out how to play this Crusader team this year.
What a situation where the stars kind of aligned like they had to have a 17-point lead against a team this good like Bishop Gorman. But Faith Lutheran came out. They had to have energy. They had to have the element of surprise. But most importantly, they had to be able to hit shots early on the road. Everything that they had to have go right went right in the first quarter. They haven't been able to find that since.
It's not an 8-minute game. It's a 32-minute game. And certainly Faith Lutheran knew that coming in, but they have found it out over the course of the night here in this rivalry matchup.
This is a Gorman team that many feel like aren't not really quite as good as they were even last year.
Another live ball turnover, and again it's Tyler Johnson to Carmona. Another dime by Johnson, and Carmona scores another bucket. 6 points here in the quarter.
It's an 11-point lead for Gorman. It feels like 30 right here, but for the Crusaders, if they can settle down, they've still got a shot.
Transition bucket? No, that should be. Yeah, they're going to count that. That was blocked off the glass. A goaltend as Boudreau got up above the rim, but a bucket for Faith Lutheran.
Dasha Wiley there, the junior forward, still learning. They love his play. Got it. They kind of call Bambi. He's still growing into his body. He's grown a few inches the last year or so, but he's going to be a good one there for the Crusaders.
Less than a minute left in the third. It's the quarter where the Gales have taken control. Left alone for three. It goes for Dino Roberts.
That's the shot that wasn't falling when you were down by 17, but all of a sudden you get up by double figures, and they tend to go down a little easier.
Another steal. Carmona up to Johnson. Johnson lays it home. Man, those two, the energy that Carmona and Johnson have brought off the bench have sparked this comeback for Bishop Gorman.
And, this is a bench that's not quite as deep as Faith Lutheran, but, man, they can certainly get it done. They've got athleticism, and, to see this kind of turnaround, it's taken everybody, and this bench has gotten involved. They have not sat down seemingly since that second quarter.
How about this? In the first half, Bishop Gorman scored only 20 points, but 26 here in the third quarter to take over the ball game. Bishop Gorman leading 46-32 after winning the third 26-7. The exclamation point by Dino Roberts here in Vegas.
Did you know teen drivers are more likely to get into car accidents than any other age group? It's a hard truth, and one that hits close to home for me. In high school, two young guys lost their life when they decided to take their dad's vehicle out for a joyride. Another girl I went to junior high school with lost her life while being driven by another friend of ours.
As a father of three, one of which just got his license, this issue is very close to home, and it's so important. At Salmon Ash Injury Law, we want to inspire change.
And that's why we're giving Clark County students a chance to win a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta, scholarships for $5,000, a year's worth of car washes, and more with our Safe Teen Driving Essay Contest.
And all you have to do is write a 400 to 500 word essay on what safe driving means to you.
Join us in fostering safer habits and a culture of accountability on the road. Visit salmonashlaw.com/safe driving to enter by December 21st.
Drive safe and good luck.
And welcome back into Las Vegas at Bishop Gorman, where the Gales have taken over. Lead 46-32 as we go to the fourth quarter. Scoop through the lane by Ace Hansen, but he is fouled and will shoot 2. I'm John Littleback with the Baron of the bounce pass, Scott Garner, and the rest of our Your View crew, and great to have you with us tonight. Again, if you're joining us late, Faith Lutheran led 20-3 after 1, but Bishop Gorman takes control in the third quarter. Now, if the Crusaders are going to have a shot in the fourth quarter, what do they have to do, Scott?
Got to do what they just did. Ace Hansen with a great drive right there, refused to get knocked off of his straight line drive, digging the defender and getting to the rim. 6'3" senior forward. He's a blue-collar guy. They love his toughness, tough as nails. He's a guy that you want on your team. You don't want to have to play him, but they've got to get more of those drives and more spacing like we just saw in that last possession.
After 7 points in the first half, those are his first 2 points of the second half.
And as crazy as it sounds, John, I don't think this Crusader team's out of it, but they really have to tighten the screws here.
Got to tighten the screws defensively, and on the offensive side, can't turn it over. Unguarded 3, comes up short, and a long rebound for Roberts. It was just tipped, not an over and back.
Boy, and Coach Rama, he wanted the over and back, but you're right, it was tipped.
So another chance for the Gales. Driving baseline, lots of contact. Cameron Cooper, and 1.
Talk about toughness. I don't know how Cooper was able to get past Ace Hansen. Watch him. He lets him go baseline, and in this read and react system, and when you're trying to play help and that pack line, you just can't let a guy go baseline. Whatever you do, Hansen's got to be able to put that left foot over the line to keep him from driving baseline, because as soon as he got leverage and drove the line, he was either going to score or get fouled.
Not only that, but he fouls out Ace Hansen in the process. Yeah. 5th on Hansen, plus the big highlight for Cameron Cooper.
What a great drive right there by Bishop Gorman. Those are the plays that they were not making in the first 8 minutes of this game.
And all of a sudden, the Gales held to 3 points in the first quarter. It's just a bucket away from 50. Good job to get it across midcourt. Keith inside. Layup, no by Wiley. It was blocked by Washington. It's not going to count. It was not a goaltend. It was a clean block, but there was a foul.
And you watch this last play. You've got a 2-on-1. I like how you draw the defender. Nice job by Keith. A little help side block right there. But I like how Dashiell Wiley went up strong that time. He didn't the previous time. And I'm sure he got some instruction from the sideline. Nice job being coachable.
You got to look at the foul call there. Did you like the foul call? It was clean up top for sure.
I thought the official anticipated the call. Sometimes officials will do that. I thought the swat was enough, though. And sometimes coaches will say, hey, it wasn't a foul, but the mechanics were just not good enough to not call the foul. If you're going to play it like that, you deserve to have a foul called on you.
And you're an official's best friend. You're nice to the officials.
Oh,
you understand how tough that is.
Understand how tough a job that is. Now, they do still get an earful.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Nice
you're not being a good coach if you're not.
That's right.
The wing 3 knocked down Cameron Cooper, having himself a quarter.
Cooper's so good on that pick and pop play. He's a guy that doesn't hunt shots, but man, you leave him wide open like that, he's going to knock it down.
Yeah, he's a basketball guy. Coach's kid, so he knows when to take the shot. Leaner, lefty, goes down. Cole Keith, big bucket.
We like watching Keith. He's such a commander on the floor, undersized, but man, he's not scared.
Cuts it down to a 14-point advantage for Bishop Gorman. Left alone. Jefferson's 3. Rim and no, but cutting in on the offensive glass. One of the smaller guys out there, Dino Roberts. He'll go to the line.
Dino Roberts, steady combo guard, high IQ guy, and doing the dirty work. They're getting contributions from players all over the map. He's the smallest guy inside, but Dino Roberts not afraid to bang. You can see he's been in the weight room. That weight room helps undersized players. That's why you got to get in there and get that work done.
And really, Roberts is kind of the backup point guard to Jefferson when Jefferson's not out there. So he can do a little bit of everything for this team. That's why the Gales are so good. They've got a bunch of guys under Grant Rice that can play a lot of different roles.
Grant Rice, a guy that has gotten so much better as a coach at communicating with parents and communicating with kids, his colleagues. Again, they draw another foul. I was asking a coach today, I said, Grant Rice has been there 24 years. How long, they say it takes 10 years. When you start driving at 16 years old, it takes 10 years to get comfortable and to become a good driver. How long does it take to become a good head coach?
Ooh,
I asked 3 coaches that today, one with over 700 wins in Texas.
Yeah.
And he said About 15 years. It takes
Really?
about 15 years before you really start becoming a comfortable head coach. And he said 60% of high school coaches never really get to that point where they can be considered a great coach. Grant Rice is one of those. He is a really good coach.
Jet Washington not able to hit the free throw. But you've got to be comfortable in your own skin, right? You've got to know who you are. And probably part of that is early in your career, you're going through job security.
Yes.
You're not sure, am I going to be able to keep this gig? You're trying to keep everybody happy, whether it be the administration, the parents, the players. But Rice is in a position, as the bucket goes in for Faith Lutheran, where, you know, he's a legend now. It seems easy at this point, but it wasn't always easy.
And the game has changed so much now, especially the last 5 years. He also understands that, hey, kids have options. You need kids that won't jump ship when things get tough. Some will transfer, some will tough it out.
10 toes to the rim. Cameron Cooper knocks the bottom out of a three. Great find by Nick Jefferson, and the Gales are off and running. Well, speaking of, great pass over the top, and Dashiell Wiley lays it in.
Running the floor is a skill. Wiley understands that. He's able to get there and finish at the rim right there. But I really like how Gorman continues to keep the foot down.
Oh, come on. Jefferson splitting the double team out front, taking it to the cup. Scoop to the hoop the other way. We are going back and forth like a tennis match here. Bentley Swin.
Well, these two teams know how to get to their spot. They know how to push the action and put pressure on the other's defense. Now they're starting to make shots.
Yeah, Jefferson making another one. He's up to a game-high 16 points and a timeout called as Bishop Gorman has gone out to a huge lead over Faith Lutheran.
We're going to sub here and going to talk about it, give these two teams a chance to catch their breath. But, man, look at these shots. You don't close out on Jefferson. He's going to knock it down, and he's got great shot form. That's why he was the MVP of the Reno tournament. And, again, one of these guys that likes to push tempo really best when he's in control. But, man, he can really hit from anywhere.
Yeah, 12 of his 16 in the second half.
Yep.
That's off of Jet Washington as Bishop Gorman has come back once down 17 in this game to completely turn it around.
And early in the game, Faith Lutheran was unwilling to allow them to get in rhythm. They just have not been closing out on shooters like they did the first 8 minutes.
But what does this say about the Crusaders that they have these flashes of brilliance in them? How can it be something that Ernie Rama is able to build some confidence in his team?
I think it absolutely is. And again, this is going to be the team to win. I think this is the team to beat in their league. There's no question.
Three-pointer by Washington off the mark. Good block out by Cole Keith.
No, the Crusaders, their first league game was against Bonanza. They're on pace probably to repeat as league champs. They're doing the things that they need to do to have success. This Gorman team's just really good.
Yeah, Tyson Price is in double figures now. Long pass back the other way, but McKinney can't hit. And a technical is called against Trey McKinney. The freshman, I think, just a freshman mistake. He's not trying to do anything, to show anybody up, but he just held on to the rim too long.
Yep. So that means you're going to have two shots and the ball here. You're right. Just held on to the rim too long, but look at the athleticism. And Trey McKinney, just a freshman, huge upside. So you're going to have Price with two shots, and then Crusaders will have the ball here, down 15 with 4:07 to go. I don't know about you, but when Gorman had 3 points at the end of the first quarter, I can't imagine they're in the 60s here.
Oh, they are such a team that can explode at any given moment as Price hits the second of two, trimming the lead down just a bit.
But this Gorman team got back into it, not with their offense, but with their defense. But I love how each team has punched the other in the mouth at certain points. Neither team has gone away, though.
Inside, Johnson misses. Cooper pulls away the board. Good job to run the floor by Nikolov, and he hits the three out of the corner. Jefferson, another dime.
There he is, the iRobot. His shooting mechanics are so refined. That's what they call him, so compact.
And back the other way, running the floor to pick up the rebound as well. Gorman has a big lead now. Nikolov, iRobot, just in and out.
I thought that was going down. It was just a little bit off.
Yeah, got to get it reconfigured there. Pull up in transition by Price. Grabs his own miss. Off the glass this time, doesn't fall. Washington so athletic at 6'6", and he's fouled.
Going back to Nikolov, that's why he's so good, because this doesn't have any wasted motion. That's why Steph Curry is so good, because there's just no wasted motion. It's just quick, release, and go. And Nikolov has learned the key. So many shooters have said, if you're going to be a great shooter, you've got to get at least 500 shots up a day in the gym. The elite shooters do it even on days they don't feel like it. That's the way Nikolov is.
That shows the dedication to your craft. And Nikolov, who of course is from Europe, but has been on this side of things and for last almost 10 years now, as his family moved to the States from overseas. He's adapted the culture, and that includes just being an absolute workhorse in the gym.
And a good night for him right now is hitting 3 or 4 threes in a game. But they really feel like they could get him to 5 or 6 if they can work the offense and be unselfish and get him the touches that he needs. They could get him to 5 or 6 makes a game. That would be impressive.
With the king of the crossover, Scott Garner, I'm John Little. 3:14 left in the fourth quarter. 64-47. The advantage for Bishop Gorman, leading by 17 now after trailing by 17 at the end of one here in Las Vegas. We want to say happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy New Year, everything that's coming up. It's 12 days until Christmas now.
Kwanzaa.
So what'd you get for me on the 12th day of Christmas?
The 12th day of Christmas.
Or is this the first day of Christmas? I don't know. Is it a countdown?
It is a countdown.
Okay, so today is supposed to be the 12, right? Another 3 off the mark. So what'd you get me 12 of?
I got you an economy bag of lozenges. That's what I did.
Thank you so much. I really needed those. I needed those. Good duck under by Emery Johnson, who has brought the energy off the bench for Faith Lutheran. Cuts it down to 15, under 3 minutes to play. Both these teams have big weeks coming up. Of course, for Bishop Gorman, they've got a huge tournament coming up in Las Vegas, hosted by LeBron James.
Yes.
Corner 3, skips over the top.
They've got 4 games next week, too, that are going to be pretty hard. And they've got to focus on playing the right way, improving the efficiency offensively, really improving after they got a slew of turnovers in the second quarter. That's where this game turned.
I mean, you're going to face some teams where you cannot afford to spot them 17 points, right?
No doubt. And, I don't know where this game's going to finish, somewhere in the neighborhood of 12, 15 points. It's kind of where it was last year between these two teams. But I'm just impressed that Coach Rama was able to get his Faith Lutheran squad ready to the point to where they had the big lead at the end of one. They're going to be able to build on that. They won't win this game tonight, but they'll be able to build on that as district play continues.
So for Faith Lutheran, their future schedule includes some more league games on the way here fairly soon. Their next game will be against Warren out of Downey, California, in a game on the 18th. And then they'll be back into action against Las Vegas schools. They'll play at Shadow Ridge coming up on the 3rd of January. So a lot of practice time between games here. And, of course, there's going to be holiday travel and all those sorts of things, but lots of time to think on this game, the positives and the negatives that are going to come out of it for Faith Lutheran.
And I think this team has gotten better at breaking the press. This is a really good job right here to get the open 3 from the corner.
And that they're going to see teams over the course of the season that are going to press the heck out of them based on what they saw.
They're going to watch the tape. They're going to try to do it. But I think as this season goes along, you're going to see Ernie Rama's team continue to get better in every facet.
And a foul out front as the Crusaders really tried to go after Nick Jefferson here. And Jefferson triple teamed, and he's headed to the line for 2 again. Brady Farnan is the one of the 3 to pick up the foul.
We talked about Faith Lutheran continuing through their league schedule, and there's no question that this Crusader team pretty much gets everybody's best game. They're that good. This league, they've got teams in the league that are really good. You look at it right now. Faith Lutheran was 1-0 with Green Valley, but hey, Basic, that was a huge win for the Crusaders.
A lot of people thought Basic was going to win that league.
They did. But they came out and they were ready to go, and that was a huge win, 54-48 for Faith Lutheran.
And it shows that this team is figuring out how to win close games as well, because you look back at the tournament last weekend, they played 2 games on a Saturday, and in both games, Coach Rama's team lost by 2 points. That's got to be a gut punch, but they followed that up this week with 2 close wins, and obviously this is going to be a loss to Gorman, but at the same time, Crusaders are on the upswing.
And it wasn't just the win against Basic, it was the way that they did it and how resilient they were Wednesday night. Coach Rama thought that they played well, but the chemistry was good. Basic had length. They had a 6'6" kid transfer in just recently, but still, Faith Lutheran really played well. I think it carried over into the first quarter. Gorman was just too strong, too athletic, running that press. Faith just could not figure out a way to break it consistently, and I think that's where this game turned.
You talked earlier about Grant Rice being in his 24th season as the head coach. Ernie Rama has been at Faith Lutheran for a long time now. It's almost 15 years. I believe it's 13 now, 8 seasons. He was an assistant under Brett Walter, and then taking over as the head coach. It's his 5th season, and you wonder if he's starting to get to that 15-year breaking point where he's really comfortable in everything he does. Well, kind of like Coach Rice.
It really has. These 2 coaches are really steeped in their principles, but one thing that Coach Walter taught him was the professional approach, how to always be prepared, have a vision for the next day, have a vision for the next month, have a vision for the next year. Rama's got that, and his team believes. They bought in.
Good job to break the press by Gorman and trying to go with that connection again. Tyler Johnson, I should say, in Kingston Carmona, but it's through Carmona's hand and out. It's like number 3 and number 0 really played off of each other coming off the bench in this game and gave the Gales another shot in the arm when they were in there.
I just think that Carmona's strength inside. He doesn't have to do too much, but at 210, he can really do a lot of things. He can guard a lot of positions, pretty much all 5 positions. He's so versatile, almost a Swiss Army knife for them.
Acuna back in, and a near steal for Tyler Johnson. His defense and his up-tempo game helped change this game, especially in the second quarter for Bishop Gorman. Again, it was a 20-3 lead for Faith Lutheran at the end of 1, but Bishop Gorman's going to win this thing by double digits. I'm John Little, along with the prince of the press break, Scott Garner, and our whole crew. And make sure to stay tuned to your local Cox subsidiary to make sure you catch all of these games on Yurview. This is Game Time on Yurview, presented by R.C. Wiley. Your home, your way, and also brought to you by Raising Cane's. One love.
A great back cut.
And it ends up in a corner 3, just over the top by Tomacek, and it gives Johnson a chance to block Bradley Stewart nearly out of the gym. It is going to stay on this end, but again, Tyler Johnson comes up with a block.
You don't see tomahawk swats like that allowed to go unchecked. I'd say 90% of the time the whistle's blown, but I guess he got all ball.
Catch and shoot 3 this time, off to the right by Farnan. And that's a reach in against Bentley Swin. Let's look at this.
Look at it again. Nice job to go back up with it, but man, what a swat. Johnson really getting after it.
Would you like to see Bradley Stewart with a little ball fake there? Maybe Bradley Stewart would like to see Bradley Stewart with the ball fake.
I think so.
You're going to go back and look at that one. Under 30 seconds to play here at Bishop Gorman as the Gales about to make their way to 6-0 on the season. A little back and forth turnover action. Acuna ends up with it, scoop to the hoop with 15 seconds left.
Nice finish right there for a guy that I believe came off ACL surgery to be able to finish like that. Really nice job.
And Swin going for a dunk with 5 seconds left. It looks like it will be the final margin here at Bishop Gorman. Faith Lutheran, an outstanding start tonight, but the Gales take over in the second half and win by 17, 70-53, the final score.
You know, when you look at this Crusader team, they came out with such a hot start. Their best win probably against San Joaquin, 54-52. But this game tonight, there were so many successes to take out of it, even though they lost.
And we'll talk about some of those on the other side. Final score, Bishop Gorman wins by 17, 70-53. We've got more coming up.
Tis the season to raise a little Cane with Raising Cane's. Spread joy with craveable chicken finger meals and treat everyone on your nice list to a Cane's gift card or plush puppy, which benefits local pet organizations. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
Hey Las Vegas, I'm Sam.
And I'm Ash from Sam & Ash Injury Law, and we're giving Clark County students the chance to win a 2024 Volkswagen Jetta through our Safe Teen Driving Essay Contest. We're offering incredible prizes, including a brand new 2024 Volkswagen Jetta, $5,000 in scholarships, and more. Thanks to our partners at Findlay Volkswagen and Wow Car Wash, it's all possible.
Students can enter to win by writing a 400 to 500 word essay on what safe driving means to them.
And with this campaign and essay contest, we hope to inspire young drivers to take road safety seriously and understand the real-life consequences that can come from their actions behind the wheel.
Visit samandashlaw.com/safe driving to learn more. Students can enter now until December 21st. Good luck and safe driving.
Tis the season to raise a little Cane with Raising Cane's. Spread joy with craveable chicken finger meals and treat everyone on your nice list to a Cane's gift card or our beanies, socks, mugs, and more. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
Office Furniture USA, Nevada's largest new and used office furniture showroom filled with quality furnishings for your standard office, lobby, break room, or conference room. We can assist with the design and installation with our in-house experts. Browse our quality pre-owned workstations. They're in stock and ready to install. We've got the best overall office chair of 2022 according to Forbes. Come see why the Han Ignition 2.0 was rated so highly right here at Office Furniture USA. More than you expect us to be, at less than you expect to pay.
Game Time on Your View is presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way. And also brought to you by Raising Cane's. One love. They are wrapping things up tonight at Bishop Gorman. Welcome back in. John Little alongside the Sultan of the Swing Pass. We've got Scott Garner with us. And Scott, it was an incredible start to this game at Faith Lutheran, but then Bishop Gorman takes over in the second half.
They did. You see the athleticism. That's what they did. They started running the press, and then they started getting open looks offensively, which they were not getting in the first quarter. But turning turnovers into points, getting paint touches off of those turnovers, you see that. What a dish. My gosh. Getting it to Carmona. How do you get better than that? And then the athleticism. They throw it down with two hands. Tyler Johnson using the left hand to finish. Boy, getting fouled was something we saw repeatedly after the first 8 minutes. Trey McKinney running baseline not once, but several times in this ballgame. It gives this Gorman team the advantage, and they get out of here with a victory.
Lots of Johnson and Carmona off the bench. Excuse me, and everybody in blue and orange goes out happy on this Friday night. And so for Scott Garner, I'm John Little, saying so long from Bishop Gorman here in Las Vegas. The final score, the Bishop Gorman Gales 70, Faith Lutheran Crusaders 53. Good night.
Tis the season to raise a little Cane by bringing Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers to your holiday celebration. Spread joy and good cheer with crispy crinkle-cut fries, garlicky buttered Texas toast, and our signature cane sauce. Make it a holiday to remember by treating everyone on your nice list to Cane's gift cards and our cheerful candy cane plush puppies, which benefit local pet organizations. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
Your support of Findlay Automotive drives positive change in the lives of real people. Findlay Volkswagen supports Vegas Pet Rescue Project. They find both temporary and permanent homes for abused and abandoned pets. Findlay Automotive, serving our community since 1961. To our incredible community, thank you for choosing Findlay Automotive. Because of you, Findlay was able to give more than $2.1 million to local charities last year. When you shop at Findlay, you drive positive change for our community. serving our community since 1961.
Great news, the Cox Tech Award is here and ready for applications. If you are running an LGBTQ plus business, you could be eligible to win a $5,000 tech grant. To apply, head over to glccnv.org/Cox to submit your application. Not a GLCC NV member yet? No worries. Join us and then you can apply. Applications are open from August 19th until October 30th, so head over to glccnv.org/Cox and submit your application today. We can't wait to see what you'll achieve.
Pain resolved. Finally, Centennial Spine and Pain offers unique pain solutions. All without monthly visits, unsatisfying injections, or harmful medications. Patients come to us for minimally invasive procedures that provide permanent pain resolution, not just pain management. So if you've got back or joint pain, burning foot pain, or an injury, we're here to get you to a life without pain. Finally, Centennial Spine and Pain. Call today.
Welcome to the show that goes across America looking for the next generation of top athletes. Today's show includes an elite volleyball recruit in Texas, a 5-star quarterback in Georgia, and a wide receiver